Good morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. It's kind of hard to be, upbeat today. Everyone kind of saw what happened. What's your thoughts, Ramon?
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. We're no experts, Mindy. We're here to talk sports gambling, and we don't even want to create a diversion because all of our thoughts are with Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin today. Everyone knows, and then we see all the great comments coming in right now, and uh, just wonderful. Uh, uh, but certainly, I feel, and I think, looking at some of the experts, it's going to be what feels like a way better chance at a positive outcome given the situation, the heroic efforts of uh, trainers and medical staff. There's no better place if you're going to unfortunately have a tragic circumstance to be if you're a player or someone in the stands than being in a professional sports stadium where there's many medical personnel on hand, and the fact that Hamlin had his was given everybody panic about the 9 minutes of CPR. These are all normal things that need to occur. I've been on a softball field, Mindy, where a player needed the defibrillator from the it was one of these facilities that has a
Right.
sports restaurant in it. A player collapsed, and you know what? People, they aren't world class athletes at a facility like this. We're playing softball, old people, co-ed, right? And a player needed the defibrillator. We were all just so upset when it happened. And that player came back to play in later in the season, even, and met with our team and said thank you for being there and things like that. So the fact that Hamlin was given the CPR, the fact that he had his heart be restored on the
Yes.
field.
Yeah.
The fact that the ambulance waited. Everybody want to say, oh, they're waiting for his mom because we want to give her the news. But that was a good sign. They would have rushed to the hospital and had her get there as quickly as possible. That type of thing. But more so, just listening to many news shows today and cardiac experts talking about the type of outcomes for this situation. We just want a good quality of life, moving forward, maybe even a normal quality of life. We don't want to talk about playing football, whether for Damar or the Bengals and the Bills and all that. But I want everybody to be positive regarding the potential outcome for Damar. It would be wonderful because one of the great stories we saw, Mindy, was Damar's charity, and that
Oh, wow. I know.
that
It's
GoFundMe was put up 2 years ago, and the goal was $2,500. It eventually reached $10,000, but it's approaching $3.5 million right now. And wouldn't it be awesome for Damar to, for the next, even if he doesn't return to the field, but have a good quality of life that he could present toys to kids every year, for the rest of his life with that money to his charity that he doesn't even know exists at this point. And we can all make a real positive out of this situation. I know we don't want to discuss it too long. We're going to talk sports gambling and sports betting. Hello to everyone in the chat today, and wonderful to see everyone here. We all were sharing the moments last night. Nobody wanted to ever experience. I mean, we watch enough sports. We've seen players. We just saw one on Sunday with the Philadelphia Eagles, right? I mean, we see the players, almost every few weeks in college or pro, needing the backboard, needing the stability, especially with, the concussions, the way they're happening, and we take the precautions, but we get the thumbs up, right, Mindy? That's what we like to see.
yeah.
But this was different, and I know that there's going to be criticism for the league, and but the coaches stepped up. The coaches were the ones who stepped up, basically said there's no way to play this game. And yeah, I think there's still going to be criticism because of the 5-minute window. Let's warm up, but the Players Association, which not isn't exactly in tune always with the league, they were another group that basically said that that wasn't the way it unfolded. So even though many people want to come in and still say, and somehow
Yeah, I
maybe
think they're just trying to give themselves time to figure it out. Yeah.
a misinterpretation, hopefully. But the fact that the Players Association would say that that never occurred, I think that does speak a little bit because, the Players Association and the league, yes, while they're on good terms right now, they are, uh, you know, um, opposite. One's a Players Association, one's a league, but they were in lockstep here, and just the medical professionals are heroes. I think hopefully in the end, that's what we'll think about this situation is saving a life and not losing a life when it comes to that situation. So we won't dwell on it too much. I just do have some important, um, not news necessarily, and this is maybe the latest news, and we're going to talk about what nobody wants to talk about and not to be attention whores or anything like that, but there is a possibility that this game will be resumed within 2 days, possibly on Thursday, and with both teams their next week's game obviously off the board right now. We've already kind of discussed the playoff ramifications. We were all watching the game. I mean, I'm sure everyone in the chat this was the biggest game of the season. Um, both teams' games next week, the Patriots, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Bengals are off the board. There's no official word of this at all, but there are a few, I want to say insiders reporting that maybe that the game would be played on Thursday and that those two games could be moved to Monday night. Ironically, Mindy, should both teams win their first round games in the slot that they're probably expected to be in, these two teams would meet again in the divisional round. And wouldn't it be great if, um, if DeMar could be there, or the teams get together before the game to, say a prayer if he's still possibly hospitalized or whatever. But it actually is quite probable, obviously, because of the success of the teams, that the teams will meet in the division round. Now, a little bit could happen with the other game and the seedings and everything because the NFL handles it a little bit differently. But if the game were to be declared a draw, Kansas City would be playing. Would they just need to win this week to clinch that home field advantage? So just to report on the field, because we're going to go back to play. None of these games today are going to stop in pro basketball or college. And it was nice to see LeBron and Donovan Mitchell, as part of his 71-point performance last night, take a moment in his press conference to recognize the gravity of the situation and to offer his thoughts as well. So, yeah, Butterscotch talked about Hank Gathers, and I have a special fondness, certainly, of Hank, having been to one sportscaster's camp with him and shared a few innings of a baseball broadcast with Hank. A school broadcast with Hank. So great to have everyone. We're just going to say our prayers and move on and talk about the games that we're going to talk about today. But Mindy, it's a big business, the NFL, and other than, like I said, a draw, I guess, is a possibility, so they can just get on with the schedule. But in a championship season, you want to play all the games, and hey, if we can just get some great news, maybe even today, then maybe we can move forward. And I think it's great therapy, no doubt about it. I think everyone can agree, as if everyone feels great about things, to kind of resume our lives and pray and keep praying, and hopefully he'll be better real soon. But according to all the show, I've watched them a million news shows today. There are way more positive outcomes in this than negative outcomes, and let's just think that too. We're no experts, so let's just pray that that's the case.
Exactly.
But we got great sports to talk about today. 3 NBA. We're going to talk 6 college basketball games and an NHL card. and um, Lost in Everything, Mindy was a spectacular um, day of college football. I had a pretty good day. We'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I like to tease at how I'm the luckiest handicapper
I guess.
going, and Mississippi State, just a crazy cover, if you will. Yeah, they won for their coach. They didn't cover for uh, coach, who was looking down on them to win the game. But man, Illinois, we were on the air when that happened, and
Right.
Tony was trying to get me to say something, I think, and I was watching the live trying to get the cover, and they were doing the little lateral play, and it was going pretty good for Illinois. You probably ended up finally seeing it, and they had progressed. I said on live it was 2 or 3 laterals. It turned out to be like 5 successful laterals with good momentum down the field until Mississippi State ran it back the other way. Too bad for Utah yesterday in the Rose Bowl. It looked like
Yeah.
it was going to be just a great game, but not having Cam Rising was the
It really
difference
hurt.
in
Yeah.
a 2 touchdown victory there. But it would seem
And you
like
got a last second cover.
got to cover somehow there as well, and we got the money as well with that total. If I'm not or no, I got that total yesterday as a premium. So and Tulane and USC, can you believe that? What
Was
a
it?
game!
17 points in 4 minutes, something like that. Pretty wild
With the
stuff.
safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, okay, maybe Lincoln Riley's a great recruiter, but boy, he leaves
That's kind
something
of
to
big
be
mistake.
desired
Yeah.
in some of his play calling there a little bit, right? You usually, from that position, not going to run any type of, and I don't think it was a run pass option type, but the way the way he
Yeah, I
drew
mean, we
back,
don't need to do play action in the end zone,
it
like,
was
ever.
going real slow, right? It was a real slow developing thing. So really what you want to do is kind of do a quarterback sneak there a little bit and get a yard or two if you can, or try a pass if you can, a little bit safer, especially the way he was playing in that game. I'm not. I know a lot of people are very high on his professional prospects. I'm not sure that I am
I
necessarily.
tend to agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt his athleticism, is terrific, and he could be. He's obviously going to be drafted very high, I would think, and get a great shot, and I hope he does become. But he, I don't know if he always does look the part necessarily there, and I'm not saying that he'd be at a different offensive position, but obviously he's a very talented player, but that was a spectacular finish for the Tulane Green Wave, the best money team
I
you
guess
could
so,
have
right?
last season. So those were interesting results, but also great job by Donovan Mitchell, Clay Thompson. Also,
That's
can't overlook
crazy.
his great performance, and it was a bit surreal watching that because
They were both on at the same time,
Mitchell,
yeah.
right? I mean, and and I keep multiple screens on, and it was tough to, you know, a lot of people talking about uh, the broadcast of the game, and it turns into a news story. And if anybody
Right.
had a problem with it, they could have obviously just turned it off rather than complaining about what ESPN was doing. And
I
Ryan
just felt
Clark.
bad for the newscasters, it was a terrible spot they were, put in. But
Well,
yeah, I get
to
it.
me, Ryan Clark, who was injured seriously in a game before. I don't know if you stayed up and watched Sports Center too long, but
Just some.
Ryan Clark could have easily won himself a Sports Emmy last night for his not only poignant remarks, but uh, you know, his experience with suffering a bad injury that he did, where he was seriously injured in a game, and really just capsulizing all of the emotions that we as fans were feeling, and all the players were feeling as well. And then on the other screen, Donovan Mitchell's just going off in that in that game. So I was having a mixed emotions as well watching that. But all right, let's take a look at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm on top of there, I think. Let's take a look at the monthly leaderboard first. And Mindy, you're still red hot, plus 1,640 units over the last 7 days. I'm right there behind you. We're up 3,000 units in our premium picks. These are based on just $100 plays over the last 7 days. Your unit size may vary, but you couldn't do much worse. Or go with Pravi. If you don't go with Pravi, go with Mindy and I. But
yeah, I mean, we'll tie them.
And Tiffany right there as well. Pretty solid numbers by the whole crew. We're on the leaderboard. We got to do a little bit better there. But yesterday, I had a 7-1 mark. Tony T coming in 5-1 has a good day as well. Nick 5-1. Collins 5-2. Ben 3-0. Mindy, you're 9-6. When I looked, you were hot, and still a good day.
I lost my last two NBAs there to kind of sink me, and then plus that was on Utah there at the end as well. So it didn't end very well. How about that? Started off good.
How about this, Mindy? You're in the last 7 days, you're 7-0 in the NFL. So
Okay.
can't wait for the next games. Hopefully, we'll get this season resumed. I mean, right now, technically, the season's on hold at this point until we find out what we're going to do. But great job, 7-0 right now in the last 7. I say last 7 days. It's obviously your plays from this week. So great job. What do you have today here?
Yeah, so I have 2 plays in the NBA. I put one of those as a guaranteed best bet. Then I have a NCAA college basketball 3-pack as well as an NHL 3-pack. So you can find a little bit of something that you like. Also have my best bets in there. Also both guaranteed plays in the NHL and college basketball there as well. So yeah, I have quite a bit in, about 3 games in each sport minus basketball. I should say 3 games NHL, 3 games college basketball, 2 games NBA.
Well, like I said, you're red hot there. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. And really appreciate it. Let's get on with the show a little bit here. We'll we're going to be positive here and get ready for a day. All these games are going to be played. No turning back. And I'll keep an eye on the news as well here. And if you are not at home, I'll keep an eye on my tweet deck in case we get some great news regarding Damar Hamlin. So, okay, Mindy, let's go to the NBA and start just a 3-game card today with the Wizards and the Bucks to start us off. And the Bucks, it looks like we're going to have Giannis. We're going to have also in the lineup Jrue Holiday. So good news for Milwaukee, but however, Washington, Bradley Beal still questionable for this one. And right now, Mindy, just popping up on the screen as I tried to click on those injuries, this one's getting steamed to the under.
Okay.
And right now it's already it opened as low as 226.5, moved up to 229, just a gradual move. But now it's been slammed down to 228. Steam coming in as we speak on the under.
All right. Well, the Wizards, they do have the 19th lowest adjusted pace rating here. Bucks have the 15th lowest. On the defensive side, the Bucks are surrendering the 6th least amount of points per game and have the 3rd lowest defensive rating here as well. Or that would be adjusted defensive rating. The under is where I was headed. It is 7-0 in the Wizards' last 7 road games, 4-0 in the Bucks' last 4 versus a team with a losing record there as well. So I will be going under, taking the steam at 227.5.
Yeah, and again, I think we're getting just a little bit better. I might just leave that price up there right now just because of what I said. It looks like we're heading back down, but I already liked the fact that I was getting a little, Mindy Hahn style where the game was already going in my favor because I liked the under. And yeah, now it is going back down. See the line there, 7.5 on the screen. It's mostly 8 currently. So maybe I can just adjust that portion of it, but we're going to start with a consensus play.
All
I
right.
already, and we'll put it to 27.5. I mean, it looks like it's heading there possibly. I'm already showing uh, 3 major books, and maybe the consensus line currently is at that 228 number, and we may even see that 227.5. So Mad Bull has great information on this game. Bucks just lost to the Wizards. And yeah, he's talking about the money line at minus 325 here. And Giannis definitely expected to play. So 8-4 the over after a loss, so he likes the over in this one. But without Beal, I think that's going to be a problem. And maybe we'll see a Bucks blowout here, possibly. So, all right, we're on the under, Mindy, in this one to start us off, and that feels good. All right, next up, we got the Celtics. They're still on the road here. They're 9-point favorite, and the total 233.5. This one has taken some steam this morning on the under. So, what you got here? Celtics at Thunder.
Well, I mean, the Thunder, they're still 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 home games there. Celtics are scoring 119, Thunder 115. It's one of those that I think, again, the Celtics probably should win this one, but I think the Thunder is able to keep it close at home. I'm going to take them at the +9 today.
All right, Mindy will be on the Thunder. They've been great. Money makers, we know that, especially when they're at home. They've been pretty solid as far as getting the money, and they've been good to the pocketbook for sure. It's a pretty big number, and I'm not sure that the Celtics necessarily can get there. But I'm going to end up on the under in this game. Again, Robert Williams back to questionable. He may miss this one, so that does not necessarily bode that great for that under, but I just respect this steam here on this one. I'm going to go under. Mindy's going to be on Thunder. I like when that's Thunder and under.
Right.
I had that the other day. Got your comments coming in, looks like on this game. And Mad Bull here. He's going to be our lead commentator today. Thunder like to cover. The Celtics still struggling, question mark. I feel like they aren't on fire like they were. Yeah, I mean, they were so hot, though. They had to come back down to earth a little bit, I would think. So he wants that line to go up. Let me see how it is moving, actually. Yeah, I think it is moving higher. In fact, it opened 8.5. Now we're seeing some 9s out there juiced. So we could get to 9.5. 10 might be a stretch. We'll see on that one, but I think you might be on the right track there, Mindy. I'm not necessarily. I might even be on that with you later on, but not one of those. You know what I mean type of
Right.
feeling. But with 3 games tonight, I don't know if I'll be on all of them, but I do want to have an NBA card because I've been doing pretty well last couple of nights in the NBA. So Mindy's on the Thunder plus the points, and I'm on under. Thunder and under. And finally, the Kings and the Jazz. The Jazz are a 2.5-point favorite, and the total 242.5. And here's another one. The steam has come in on the under. All 3 games.
Oh my goodness, all unders here. Well, the Jazz, Jazz have lost 4 straight now. Scoring the third most points still at 117. Kings 118 here. They've won their last 2 home games here, about 126 as a final score on their side. I think the Kings are going to win this one. I'll take them here at the plus points on the road.
Okay, Mindy is going to be on the Sacramento Kings, getting the points on the road against Utah here. in this one. And, well, I'll just make it 3 for 3. I'm going to take the under in this game with the Kings and the Jazz. I'm just going to respect that steam. I flashed up Cages on the screen. Good to see him here. Haven't talked to him here in a few days. Hopefully, you've been watching. Hopefully, everything is doing good. So I'll be on the under the Mindy in this one with the Kings and the Jazz. I'm going to respect the move here to the under, and Mindy's going to be on the Kings here. Scotch giving you a little bit of
Right.
blowback here. Sacramento, not a good situation in Utah, and that's kind of the way I was looking at it as well. That had me
What
a
you're
little bit.
saying, there's a chance, right?
Cages will be on the under in this one here. So, well, I'm back to my normal self. I'm on under in all 3 games on the show here. Mindy's got the Kings tonight. Going to take the Kings on the road against Utah. No doubt that even though we mentioned that statistic, I mean, you see a 3-point spread there, and well, what can you say? The Kings right now are the team above 500, and Utah is a game under 500. So, but Utah covering some spreads at home. So we'll see. Good job, everybody. Good job, Mad Bull and Butterscotch and Cages. Hopefully, some other people are out there too. Good to see you. 3 dozen people in our chat room today. All right, we've got a nice college slate here.
Yeah, I think so.
And, we picked some games out. The executive producer has picked some games out for us to check out, and good card here of all main slate action. We're putting some of those games aside that we've had to suffer with over the last couple of days on the extra board. Let's get into it here with Marquette and St. John's in this one, and showing right now. Let me see, Marquette 2.5, 157.5, just like it says there.
Yeah, I mean, Marquette, they've kind of been on cruise control, winning 5 out of their last 6 here. St. John's, they've suddenly not been able to win a game. I mean, they've had 3 straight losses in conference play now after having a pretty good, non-conference season thus far. Marquette, they do average 115 per 100 possessions, 9th in adjusted offensive efficiency. Red Storm, they've also been struggling here on defense, giving up 78 points a game here as of late. I'm going to take a Marquette minus 2.5 here today.
Hey, how can we not take Marquette here, Mindy? They're the team getting numbers. They're even 3-1 against the spread on the road, 10-5 ATS overall, while St. John's struggling to get numbers right now. They're 0-4 against the spread as an underdog, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Warriors, Golden Eagles. How many years? It's already been like several years. I guess I haven't done I've done many shows over the years, so maybe I fell back into it there. But Cages wants to go over in this one, and I don't know, Cages. Let's go with Marquette here, Mindy, though, for our show. I was thinking under, but I mean, I get it. I mean, you look at that total. I mean, I know it's going to be a high score, no doubt about it, but man, can St. John's really put up enough here to get them to that total? But I respect it, Cages. Let's take Marquette, Mindy, in this one. Let's have a premium consensus.
Consensus play number 2
on that college game. Yep. All right, Mindy. Nebraska going to take on Michigan State in this one, and Michigan State going to be a pretty big favorite here, but it has gone down 6.5, 132.5. It opened, I believe, maybe as high as 7-ish. No, I'm showing
like 8,
7.5 and an 8 as well. Yep, at the Best of Luck Sportsbook.
Well, I mean, I had this one when I did my handicapping at 8, right? Because I have Michigan State basically winning this game by 6. So now it's really gotten this game, a whole lot closer for me. But, Nebraska plays pretty stout defense. The only thing that worries me is State's ability to shoot the 3, right? I mean, Nebraska needs to limit their turnovers too. I mean, they tend to be a little bit, sloppy. Again, I think Michigan State's going to win this one, especially because they're at home. Nebraska's not like a huge offensive, powerhouse, but they've been able to keep games close with their defense. I mean, so for me, I was looking at Nebraska in this one. It's shrinking for me there a little bit. I'd rather have it at 8, but I'll still stick with that Nebraska since I have it at 6, and Nebraska wins by a half point here in this one.
Well, we got to take something here. I mean, that's what we're all about on this show. So, uh, I don't know, Mindy. I have a tendency that I think I want to agree with you here in this one. I wish we were getting that 7.5, 8, whatever it was, even higher. But I'll get on this one with you. I'll take Nebraska.
So we can have
I think,
something fun to root for.
well, to me, the indicate right. I mean, the perception might be. I mean, look, Michigan State, maybe they're not totally the Michigan States we're used to, and Nebraska, they definitely can have their road woes, and they already have shown that this season. They really have not looked very good on the road, but Michigan State's not covering many numbers either right now, home or away. So I think that just favor. We saw last night, we were on Rutgers here on the show against
Right.
Purdue. They beat them for the second year in a row actually, and did the job. So I'm willing to go on Nebraska here and get a close game out of this one. So I think Scotch says Michigan State. I get it. I
Yeah,
get
for
it
sure.
there.
That's why I said that's what worries me.
Cages here. Hey, Roscoe's here today. Good to see Roscoe, as always, in the chat here. So let's do it, Minnie. Let's take Nebraska. Let's get our second game going. We've been doing pretty well in college basketball right now on the show.
Right.
So anytime I'm feeling, uh, you know, feeling it, and we're on the same play, let's just go with it and uh, keep it going right now. Okay, let's keep it up in your territory here with Seton Hall and Creighton. It was a slump. Was it just a slump maybe for Creighton? Their favorite here by 8.5. Moves going to Seton Hall a little bit. 8.5, 136.5.
Yeah, I mean, I might say that 1-5 against the spread is definitely a slump.
Right, but
I mean, we could talk about
so if
trade
I
up.
could
Yeah.
just clarify that. I mean, meaning it was a slump and they look good last out. So are they going back up?
I think definitely. I mean, it was funny because when I saw this, I'm like, man, I should just go to the game. It sounds fun, right? Um, but the Pirates, they're 7-1 in their last 8 games, and I don't know. I mean, this is going to be crazy because Creighton's had like probably the toughest part of their schedule. Already they've played Arizona, Texas, Nebraska, Arizona State, Marquette, BYU. You know what I mean? And so I kind of feel like that this is the time for them, to kind of get going and win some games, especially in conference, to get back to where they need to be. But then I have the Seton Hall team that holds their opponents to like 40% shooting. And then suddenly Creighton now has to win by 9. I don't like it. I think Creighton's going to win this game, but I'm going to take Seton Hall here in the points. They've been covering. Creighton just hasn't. Creighton's going to have to show me a little bit more.
Okay. Mindy will be on Seton Hall, says that's too many points here when you're talking about the 8.5. And yeah, the move has been on Creighton so far. There's no doubt about that. But I see a 136.5 here, Mindy. And, you might find that, I don't know what, maybe I can get pull a little bit of information out of your feel. But I'm going to end up going over in this game. Creighton is 7-4 to the over as a favorite so far. And I don't know, both teams have been kind of flat lining it a bit when it comes to the total in this one. Both meetings last year went under, but I'm going to end up going over in this one at the 136.5. Scotch says way too many points for Creighton to cover. I don't know. No doubt Seton Hall might be able to get this money, but I don't know. I'm more leaning towards Creighton that I can't play it with you. So I'll go over in this one. Give me an over. I need an over today.
Okay.
All right. Got some more action here. Virginia going on the road against DeMar Hamlin's school. How about that?
I
Pittsburgh.
know. When I read that, I was like, oh, man.
Pittsburgh, right? I mean, I think it was pointed. They pointed out, uh, you know, 3, 4 star athletes that could have went to probably greater schools and stayed home at
Stayed
Pittsburgh. You always
hometown,
like
right?
that. So, what do you have here? The Cavs. Boy, that looks a little light. I don't know. They are up to -6 now, and the total is down to 128.5. Uh, Virginia can play some crazy games. It seems like sometimes these numbers, you're always mad when you think you can go over and it ends up being a typical Virginia game, you know, 58-55 or something. But then all of a sudden they put the line down at like 117 and Virginia wins like 68-62.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like how we were talking about with Creighton, right? Virginia's only covered the spread one time in their
Right.
last 8 games with all those wins, and then Pittsburgh, they've covered 9 straight, me and you, I know we both had them as a premium versus
Yeah.
Tony versus, North Carolina there. Pittsburgh to me has the momentum. They're playing at home. I think it's going to be, a good atmosphere. I'm going to take Pittsburgh here in the points.
Okay. There was widely reported steam that came in, obviously, on Virginia. They opened definitely a little bit lower than this, as low as 4. I believe at some spots there were some 5s out there as well. So just want to Mindy, a steam play coming in right
All
now, and
right.
the game we just talked about,
Creighton?
Seton Hall and Creighton. We always kid when it goes our way that they were listening to us. They're fading me, I guess, in today because we're seeing the move actually go under. So that's going to
Ah,
play to my advantage a
it
little bit.
will. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, they steamed it at under 136.5, and right now it's gone down to as low as 134.5 at one particular one of the major online sports books in the country.
Well,
So
that's an interesting play, right? Because I have that one going over too, Ramon. But yet I worry about, both of those teams play a little bit better, defense, which
oh
could
yeah,
maybe, hinder that total. That's the only thing that kind of keeps me off of it is that yin and yang with their efficiencies versus their score totals. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be good. And like you said, the more steam that goes on that, the better your play.
yep. And then we'll try to, things have calmed down a little bit for us, that we can pass along some of these steam moves. We're not covering, 40 games like we were last week. So
Oh, that was
I think,
brutal, Ramon.
well,
That was
again, I mean, that's been one of the neat features of the show so far. So we'll get back to that a little bit and try to give you the latest steam moves as the play goes along. Just had a couple more go off here, including just moments ago, within the last 4 or 5 minutes. Kent State -7.5 over 17.5, of course, over Western Michigan was another play that just came in. Anyways, getting back to Virginia and Pittsburgh here. Lots of comments here coming in. Scotch says he likes Pitt as well here in this one. And Cages says that he would also go Pittsburgh here. So, okay, I respect that. And Roscoe likes Pitt with the points. Yeah, we were on Pitt against North Carolina. I'm respecting this steam a little bit. I'm not going to necessarily get with you guys here. I think in this one, I don't know how hard, but you talked about it, Mindy. Pitt right now one of the hottest teams in the nation at getting numbers here with their current streak, and Virginia definitely has not been a good cover this year. In fact, 1-7 against the number as a favorite. So I think you mentioned that. So, but Pittsburgh has been going over certainly of late. Virginia not necessarily showing that same defensive tendencies that I joked about with some of those games. But for me, I'm going under in Virginia and Pitt. I'm going to fade the steam here in this one. Like I said, currently at 128.5. The reported steam did come in on the over in this one at 129.5, but it has now come down to 129, 128.5. I'm going to go under in this one with Virginia and Pittsburgh. All right, Mindy, make sure you don't get your notes confused here like I did when I
All
was
those Kansas
trying to.
teams.
Then, yeah, when we're doing the next two games, we have Kansas State and Texas. Texas is down to 8.5, and the total has dropped to 137.
This can't be right. Both teams have won 12 of 13. Is that right? Goodness. I mean,
Mm.
Texas 9-0 at home. K-State just, they tend to not really play, great on the road, even though they're all kind of covering spreads here as of late. I got burned on, Kansas early in the season on some spread totals there. But I don't know. I think this one's going to come down to the home team. I'm going to count on the Longhorns and their defense. I'm going to take Texas today to cover this big spread at home, -8.5.
Oops. Well, let me fix the total there. It's not 13. 137 currently.
Yeah, I just think the home court advantage in this one is pretty huge. And Kansas State just not playing well on the road. It's just a lot of points.
Now, Kansas State did take the widely reported steam at about 9.5, and that's has created some value here. Most of my model has double digits, so I'm going to get on board with you in this one. I do think it can be a double-digit victory for the Longhorns today, and I'm going to fade that steam a little bit. Come in with Texas here against K-State. No problem. K-State, did a great job so far, but this one might be a little bit tricky for them here. The last meeting at Texas, the meeting last year was just a 1-point game. 66-65, K-State won on the road as a 10.5-point underdog in this one. And Texas hasn't been doing a great job getting numbers, but I like the advantage here the Texas has today at 8.5. I think they could win by double digits. But here comes Cages. He's
I
on.
know, bringing some heat here for us, some good stats.
Yep, says take that. Look at the road team continues to get the money. Yeah, Texas won last year's meeting at K-State by 13 points as an 8.5-point favorite. So, okay, no problem. We're on another premium here. We're laying the points with Texas today against Kansas State. Now, don't adjust your sets because we have Kansas at Texas.
Right.
Kansas 2.5 and the total 140, just like you see there on the screen. Texas did take the widely reported steam in this one, Mindy, and they took it at 2. They took Texas Tech +2, so it's actually gone back up a little bit here with a lot of buyback on Kansas.
Yeah, this one's been really, really tough for me. I keep going back and forth, back and forth. It's probably one of those games, if I had to pass, I'd probably pass, a little bit unsure, but I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at it here. Texas Tech has, this pretty amazing offense, but they're 0-6-1 against the spread, versus a team with a winning record. So, that's going to tip the scales here, for me today. Kansas, I know that they have, a tough time here on the road. But again, Texas Tech doesn't really beat any of these, what I would consider like big time Final Four tourney teams, Elite Eight. They just kind of struggle with them. It seems like they beat the teams they're supposed to beat, but not really come in heavy. And I don't think they're going to beat a team like Kansas today.
All right, Mindy, so you're on Kansas.
I'm on Kansas.
Okay, no problem. You see what Scott says there about the Texas Tech is 128 home games in a row. I guess I'll just throw my notes right here in the trash.
Well, they may win by 1, Ramon.
Great job. Great job by Butterscotch here.
No, I don't know.
I just want to say hello to some people before I give you my play.
That's what I said. This one's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Chris Simmons. Great to see Chris Simmons here with us. I don't believe we've had the pleasure talking about Mitchell's outstanding performance. He might be a little bit behind in watching the show, but when he gets to this point, hopefully you'll see our greetings, and please become a part of our team's team with picks here every day.
Don't be shy, everyone. We got like 50 folks hanging out. We need like 50 comments, right?
Saturday through Thursday, we're here. And Crush Diamonds, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're having a new year. So it seems like you took a holiday a little bit with us, and appreciate it. He looks like he's a little bit behind. Oh, here he comes. Leaks Kansas outright as well. So Scott, he thinks the spread's really low in this one for a reason. Curtis says, yeah, he would like to take this game to go over the total. I mean, why not? I mean, Kansas is 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Texas Tech is 8-2 to the over. Oops, what am I talking about? Did I just do it wrong? No, I got it. To Texas. Okay, Texas Tech. I almost did it there. Those stats are right. 7 combined, 15-5 over the last 20 meetings for these two teams individually. Last 10 games individually, if you will. So definitely can see that here when talking about this total. And I think that's the way I'm going to lean as well. I'm going to go over with Kansas and Texas Tech, and I'm going to agree with Curtis.
Heck yeah.
Why not?
Curtis is like the hottest handicapper in the chat, I think.
Right, fading him wasn't a good idea. So let's go on with Curtis here. But I do think I like what Scott was saying.
I know eventually we'll get some stats for you guys, right? I'm hoping that's where we're headed soon, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We might have an area where we're able to have just our team steam in a little I don't want to say contest, but just keep track of all of our records and see how we do, and then we can point out our hot cappers in the chat.
Our hot team steam cappers. It was Tony's idea. I think it sounds awesome, but I know they have a lot of stuff they're trying to implement, but when it happens, I think it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, and just some great comments there from Chris talking about Donovan Mitchell and his awesome game last night. He mentioned, most since Kobe. There have been other 70-point games. Remember, Booker had a 70-point game. They actually lost that game, if you remember. But there haven't been many, 70-plus games. But, Kobe was really shooting the ball a lot that night. I mean, I remember watching that game against Toronto, and it was a magical night. But Kobe took 14 more shots to get to those 81 points than Mitchell took last night to get to his point total. No disrespect. We love Kobe. We're almost, we're in January now, so we're just moving to just a month away from that Kobe, right? But also, the incredible thing about that last night, Mindy, is Donovan Mitchell had 11 assists.
Yeah,
and Kobe
just banking it off the rim to put it in to tie that game was pretty amazing. I mean, that barely ever works.
Right.
As he's falling down on the ground. Yeah, that was
seen it a couple of times now in just a week. And not disrespecting Kobe. Rest in peace, our brother. But that night he had 2 assists. So, once he got on a mission that night, I mean, I was I wasn't young, but it was quite a while ago, and I was at a roommate. We were Lakers fans, and we were just going crazy that night with that one. So, Kansas. Roscoe coming in with the play there. That's my play right there over in that game between Kansas and Texas Tech. Sounds like
he likes the over.
Sounds like he's going to buy it down by 3 points or so there, and usually buying 3 points on a game there probably going to cost you about $1.70 or so. All right, let's get over to the hockey. Big card, Mindy. So hopefully we got some great picks on the ice here and some consensus plays if we can. Just a huge card tonight.
It is.
I want to just one thing I will. Hamlin's $3.6 million, and now as people start to get wind of that, it's only been not even 12 hours since we first started talking about that. When it first came apparent that money was starting to pour into that charity, you could only imagine by today that thing will, I would imagine, just smash through $5 million. Just shows you the impact that sports fans have when they come together. I don't want to say for a cause or whatever, but they don't know what to do, but they want to show support for this
Yeah,
athlete. So
I think it's a great way to show
currently
your
it's
support.
$3.6 million right now. So I
And
would.
those, and I'm sure those are small donations, right? I mean, that's a lot of people
Oh
donating.
no, yeah, no, it
You know what I
shows.
mean?
It's 138,000 people, Mindy. So there are that also indicates that there are some big donations
Well,
too.
true, right?
But
Yeah.
again, I think anybody, just sending just their love through this contributions, and can't wait to hear what he says when he awakens and realizes that whether or not he ever steps on a football field again, he is. I, I just don't know. He's making such an impact in the lives of so many. We already saw so
It's
many
probably changed the game, and probably for the better overall.
so many cool videos. There's a couple of cool videos of him carrying toys. This was even before he was a pro. He was starting to do charity work like this. And here's a poignant uh, thing about this, Mindy, that when he signed his contract, it was for $3.6 million.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Ramon, stop it. Stop it. I have to find
Yeah.
tissues. Quit it.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, so just awesome. $3.6 million right now for that charity. If you don't know, I'm sure a lot of people do know what I'm talking. But if not, you can find it on Twitter. Though it's the Chasing M's Foundation Community Toy Drive that was two. It's really a 2 years old GoFundMe, and
I
um,
didn't realize it was 2 years old. So that's pretty sweet that it got,
yeah,
revived.
it had a
Basically.
goal of $2,500 at the time, and it had smashed it at that time. Even I believe they'd gotten ten
And you are
thousand
making me
dollars.
cry. Damn
Yeah,
you, Ramon. Damn
but
it.
you know, $3.6 million and counting. GoFundMe, Kelly and Nina's daycare center in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, which I'm sure is uh, uh, where he's from. So just awesome. All right, Rick, good to see you. He's got comments on that Kansas game as well, but we're
Yeah,
about.
this game is so hard. It's going to be a fun one. So I love it when it's like you have such a hard time with it, then to finally get the results. I think it's so satisfying. I don't know. Maybe just me. I'm kind of weird like that, probably.
Well, and you don't want to end up. Sometimes I don't try to be contrarian to be the smartest guy in the room, but you just stick to your guns a little bit. And sometimes, when the market moves against you, it should be a concern actually when that happens, because maybe you got it wrong, and then when you're right, you're like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm better than the whole market, but
Right.
just the fact that you know Joe Public was on the move in that one, and really the handicap, and that's why what makes our when we are clicking and having a good you know series, good week like we are right now, and we agree on many plays, and if we end up on the same side, it's because this is what we do. We handicap, so we should end up on the same side. Like I said, sometimes we maybe should end up on 12.5% of the plays, but we actually should be on the same side a little more, right? Because we are handicappers, and we should be together on a lot more, maybe 15 to 20%. And I don't know, I think maybe we are. So let's take a look right now and to go with the hockey games here. I'll call up the.
Well, that would be what, 4 plays out of 20, right? Isn't that,
Yeah.
And we usually hit that. So I think we're a little bit above.
Okay, in this one, and we'll call up the goalies here. There have only been a few. There are a couple confirmed goalies. The Blue Jackets and the Senators. This total, let me make sure of this and make sure I don't have a typo there, or maybe you can help me. But no, okay, I'd say a typo because it looks like mostly all 6.5. So I don't really see any openers of 6. So please forgive me, folks. I believe this one is 215 and 6.5.
All right, so the Blue Jackets are really bad on the puck line at 4-10. The Senators are 11-8, but I'm going to take the Blue Jackets here anyway today. They won their last one 4-1 over the Blackhawks. They have been putting up about 3 goals a game here over the last 4. Senators did win the last one over the Sabres 3-1. Been putting up 3 goals themselves. But I really like this Blue Jackets puck line here today.
Okay, Mindy's going to take the Blue Jackets on the puck line against the Senators plus 1.5. What do you got, Mindy? About minus $1.35 or
Well,
so.
mine says about 142 is where I had it a couple hours ago. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ottawa's done a decent job on the puck line as well, but I'm
Right.
going to end up going under in this one. I mean, Ottawa has been a dead solid under now for a couple of weeks in a row. So looks like Mad Bull's going to be against you here, but he is definitely having some reservations, it looks like, after
Yeah, I mean, I
hearing.
think the Senators are going to win this. I just don't think Senators are going to win it by 2.
Well, that's what
And
Scott.
again, Ramon thinks this is going to be a low scorer. So you're looking at, 3-2, 2-1, something-ish like that,
Yeah. Well, and Columbus does give up a few goals here, but Ottawa does not, is not scoring a ton of goals. Certainly, they're definitely Columbus definitely struggles to win games on the road. They're 2-11 on the road this year, but Ottawa, like I said, 13-24 to the under so far this season. This thing's up there at 6.5. They're gone 1-9 to the under in their last 10 games. Give me the under in the Ottawa game against Columbus. Sabres and Capitals here, and the Capitals minus $1.55, and the total. This total's dropped definitely. It's a total reversal here from 6.5 over 15. We're now looking at mostly 6.5 under 15.
There's my dog that was sick over the holidays. She's doing better now.
Oh boy!
Here's
Yeah,
Nikki.
I'll say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, she almost had to have a surgery, but didn't. So she's okay now.
A lot of it.
Yeah. I like the Capitals. They're 6-1 in their last 7, 14-4 versus the Sabres off a win. Capitals ranked 12th in goals against. I like them today. Capitals.
All right. Mindy's on the Caps minus $1.55. I'm on the Capitals minus $1.55. I think in this one as well. Look, Buffalo, they've been pretty terrific. No doubt about it. They've been fun to watch, but the Capitals, Mindy, how do we say it? I mean, we talk about well, I sound like a broken record. I talk about all these East teams. No teams in the East must lose because we've talked about every team in the East practically all season long. Now
Right.
here comes Buffalo, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Washington, 8-1-1 in their last 10. This all of a sudden is a pretty nice game between these two teams. Now, granted, Buffalo's just a couple of games over 500, and Washington, they've been one of the most pleasant surprises in the league, I think. I think we thought they'd be, pretty decent, but 21-13, considering how all these teams in the East are doing such a great job. So, let's go ahead and take Washington here. Look, we got a little bit of a price, but I'm willing to do it here in this one. Washington 12-5 at home against 12-5 at home straight up so far. 11-4 as a favorite. Take Washington here. In this one, looks like Scotch wants to go over in this one. I'm not so sure. I know because Buffalo's been playing pretty hot and scoring some goals, but they've actually gone under in 6 of their last 10 with one push. So
I agree.
That's what it says. Can't play him at 165. I get that. I think you can get a little better price, but I don't know if 10 cents is going to make the difference for you here. So, but looks like Orlando is going to, he does like the Sabres on this one plus the money. So, okay, well, we're not perfectly in step with everybody, but Mindy and I are on the Caps here in this one for a consensus play. Coyotes and Panthers. Panthers, big favorite, Mindy. Big. Got a 330 favorite here with the Panthers in this one. The total is 6.5 under 15, just like it says there, it looks like.
Well, I'm going to hit the over. It's 4-1 Coyotes last 5, 8-3-1 Panthers last 12 home games. Coyotes have scored 6 goals per game? Last 2 of 3? That's a lot. I'll take them.
Coyotes are scoring goals? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Mindy's going to be on the over. with the Coyotes here on the road, where, yeah, I mean, that's where they've kind of been pretty decent as far as getting some puck lines. How about 20-13 on the puck line this season? And here you're getting them plus 1.5, plus 105. It's been one of our money makers so far, but Mindy says go over the total. Both these teams been pretty strong to the over this year. They've been trending under of late, but still, you got Florida 10-8 to the over at home, and Arizona 19-16 to the over overall. So, but I just worry that the numbers have been a little bit lower of late. I don't know if I like Arizona's chances here to stay in this game, and I know I'm bucking the huge trends here. Florida 10-20 as a puck line favorite. I'm gonna lay it. How about they've covered the puck line 10 times at least, of course, in 30 games. But I'm going to do it today. I'm going to take the Panthers minus a goal and a half in this one, and I'm kind of expecting maybe in the 4-2 range, so it might be under for me. But I'll take the Panthers in this one. And hey, here comes Orlando. We were talking, Mindy, yesterday about the plays in the first period, and I'm going to send you some charts later, actually, on that you can look at. That I think
Yeah, because I was telling Ramon, we had lots of folks over on New Year's Day. My mom likes to put out a big spread. We are of Polish and German descent, which really don't mix too well, but yeah, we like to do pork roast and sauerkraut and such, and have all the people that we haven't seen in a long time. Everyone knows just to come over on New Year's Day, so it's a big spread. And they were all telling me that they like to bet the first period in hockey, and that's just not something, because we have so much to go through. It's not been my area of expertise. And then here comes Orlando, and I know he plays a lot of those. But everyone says they love it because it's like they don't have to wait the whole 3 hours for that game to get over. It's like instant gratification, and it sounds like you can really find some pretty key areas in order to get in on some winners there.
All right, Mad Bull on. Looks like he likes that Panthers play, and Tony Livernessi, good to see him here again today, and he likes possibly Coyotes just for a small play on the road. No problem there. Good to see Rick here as well today in our chat room. Visitor of ours always here. So, all right, Mindy's on the over in Arizona, Florida, and I'm on the Panthers minus 1.5. I'll sweat it out. Hey, here's another good game with the Hurricanes going up against the Rangers. We got one of those 5.5s out here, Mindy. It's only the Ranger games, right, that are kind of always coming in right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it seems, huh?
Yeah, with these 5.5 numbers. So right now, Hurricanes on the road minus $1.25, 5.5 over 15.
Yeah, I kind of like the Hurricanes today, minus 125. I'll take the favorites. They've won 11 in a row, scored 5 goals in the last one versus the Devils there as well. Rangers only 1-3 in their last 4 games here, only putting up 2 goals a game. I'll take the Hurricanes, also playing on a little bit of rest there as well.
11 in a row. I mean, does anybody in the East ever look? Well, the Rangers obviously lose a little, but you mentioned their woes, but they're still in a pretty good groove. But I agree. Right now, Carolina, they're right there with aren't they? Right there with the Bruins at this point. I mean, they moved a couple of games of the Bruins in the overall conference standings. They're red hot. You mentioned it. How about 13-3 on the road? You know how much I like that. Let's take the Hurricanes today. Orlando's going to go against us. I get it. I mean, Rangers at home. This is a nice game, no doubt about it. Looks like Mad Bull got this as his premium today. I don't know who's it going to be on. Do we have to wait, Mad Bull? And Scott says he's on Carolina as well in this one, but I'm going to wait just a minute here and see if we can get Mad Bull's premium. Oh, I see. We don't get it says premium, so we don't get. It's like when we give out we don't give out the premiums, right?
Right.
Made Mad Bull laugh there. in that one. So we don't get to play. We
Being
got to buy.
tricky. Yeah, being
We've got to
tricky.
buy it. We've got to buy it. We've got to go to Mad Bulls site and subscribe to Mad Bulls picks. So, all right, Mad Bull, just make sure we know where to go to get your premium picks. And is there a promo code for Mindy and I? Huh? We get a promo code because we want to save, 20% at least. So, want to mention if you look on Tony's Picks website. I'm probably not supposed to talk about too much because we don't promo it, but there's a bigger discount out there on Tony's website if you look closely for some purchases. So take a look around, go over the website, and you'll find a special promo right now that I know is bigger than 20%. Hope Tony's getting it. It's obviously on the website, so it's not a big secret.
It's not a secret.
Something promoting something, but you got to go to the website. So that's all. I think that's a pretty good tease, actually, right there. And right now, the way Mindy's hot, why not jump on board, get a week-long pass? All right, Tony Livernessi says can't go against his Rangers. He'll just take a pass. All right, so we're on the Hurricanes. Mindy is a premium there. Let's take a look at the Blues taking on the Maple Leafs. The Leafs are 265, 6 under 15.
Yeah, I mean, I like where everyone's playing right now. I'm going to go over in this one. It's 7-1. The Blues last 8 when the opponent allows 2 goals or less in their previous game here. Over is 4-0 in the Maple Leafs overall. Just need the Blues, I think, to score a couple here. Probably be okay.
All right, we're on the over. Oh, did I say we're on the over there? I kind of want to. I mean,
Curtis
the Blues have been right. The Blues have been scoring outrageous goals, no doubt about it. I mean, they are definitely. Here's a crush coming in with the Leafs here in this one, and I think Curtis does say the over with you, Mindy. I'm not saying we're on it, but you're on it. I was looking over just because the fact that the Blues have been such a strong over team here of late, especially, right? I mean, they've been cranking out goals in a lot of their games. What's the numbers look like here? 9-1 the last 10. I think it's even bigger than that right now. But Toronto, they're pretty solid under right now at home. 6-12 to the under at home. So I'm still lay low with that one, and I'm going to end up here on the money line. I think it's a pretty cheap price. Yeah, St. Louis has been playing well, 5-2-3 their last 10, but Toronto 13-2 at home, and I only have to lay what, a buck. 262, well, -1.5, -108 in this one. Let me see. Do I have that price right on the screen here? Let me just make sure of that. 265, right? Yeah. Okay, I did have it right. So what is the puck line? I said -1.5, -108. I'm willing to do it. I'm going to go Leafs on the puck line. I think I was just confused because it looked like, who was it in the chat that says, oh, no, they're all puck line. They're all, well, Scotch is on St. Louis puck line. Orlando says Leafs puck line. Crush says Leafs puck line. So a little bit of disagreement there. But Curtis is with you, Mindy, and I'm going to be on the Leafs on the puck line. All right. Yeah, it's tough because Leafs, it's another ugly puck line play, really. They're 10-21.
Mm-hmm.
So, 10-21 on the puck line, but St. Louis 11-12 on the puck line. So,
but they've won 10.
Yeah. Pretty much a pick 'em on
the other one.
Pretty much a pick 'em on the puck line. So, all right, Canadians here. I believe Montembeault might be one of the confirmed goalies today. Let me see if that. Yeah, he is definitely not many confirmations here, but he is one of them here. Pred's a big favorite here at -230, 6 over 15.
Yeah, I mean, Canadians here, they're giving up a ton of goals, 16 in their last 2 games. It's like painful for me to even say it, Predators have also then scored 10 in their last 2. I think it's going to go over. It is 10-4 in the Predators' last 14, playing on some rest. So I'll take it over 6.
All right. Mindy's on the over here with the Canadians and the Predators. And boy, can I just how many puck lines can I take today? I don't know. These games are kind of scary. Here's Crush coming in -1.5 on the puck line. Here's Butterscotch, but you also have Curtis. He wants a piece of Montreal on the puck line. So a little bit of conflict here with our chat, but I think I'm more interested in laying it against Montreal. They're definitely in a big time slump right now. Nashville just 3-10 against the puck line. Canadians have gone 17-15 as a. I want to say now. Let me clear that up. Nashville 3-10 is a puck line favorite. So Montreal 17-15 as a puck line dog. Nearly all of their games are they're the puck line dog. So Reese just says Predators here. Big price though, obviously at 230. Orlando's got one of his period plays here. Second period to go over in this one. I'm going to take the Predators here, -1.5. I might be asking for it today, laying a bunch of goals, but we got big lines. And hey, look, I mean, I'm taking plenty of puck line dogs, but today I'm on puck line favorites. What can I say? All right. And Mindy is on the over in that game. Kind of lean that way, but man, I've seen my models just all over the place in that one. So not trusting it. Flames and the Jets. The Flames are up to $1.25. The Flames are one of the biggest movers so far. 620.
Yeah, and I had this one that did it open up at 5.5. I had thought so. This one in the Rangers game there, but yeah, the Flames they're putting up 3 goals a game in 4 out of their last 5. Jets really haven't been scoring too much, even though I still like them. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Flames today at -125.
Yeah, the Flames have taken the widely reported steam here in this one, and this is one that Mindy and I are going to be on together here. I like Calgary, definitely looking pretty strong at this point, playing some real good hockey. I would say at this point they're starting to get a little bit of momentum going here. I would say right now they have gone 5-2-3 over the last 8, and Winnipeg's come back down to earth a little bit.
Right.
They are 9-11 as an underdog this year. Let's take Calgary in this one as another consensus play. So we've got a couple of plays so far, right? 3 plays so far. Yeah, and we're taking favorites in all of them, but that's okay.
A lot of favorites win in hockey, though.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to just give out some steam that's been rolling in here, kind of put it on the back burner, but just within the last couple of minutes. How about LSU and Kentucky? Sharps looks like they're taking under 137. I know that one was as high as 138, and you're definitely seeing right now 136.5, and probably maybe moving a little bit lower with LSU and Kentucky as a steam play that's come in within the last couple of minutes. So also quite a while ago now, probably within the last several minutes. Let's just say I'm a little behind in this one, but Vanderbilt did take some steam in their game against South Carolina at 8.5. Probably back up to an original number out now at 9.5. So I don't know if there's much value in the line there necessarily. That line's kind of been all over the place. Also, Mindy, Sharps did end up. Oh, okay. No, I already reported that one, Kansas State, when we talked about that game. So I think I'm all caught up. There wasn't too many plays actually. Let's continue on. We're going to get some more comments here. Orlando passed on that game. Tony says Calgary now up to 135. Well, of course, after we gave it out. So. Anyways, we're on Calgary here, no doubt about it. And who else was there? Mad Bull starting to lean to the Flames in this one, so better get on it now. It looks like wow. Okay, oops. Here we go. Lightning and Blackhawks here. Look at Lightning on the road, 335 in the total. 6.5 over 15, but looks like it's moving down a little bit. This one might end up going about 6.5 flat.
Yeah, Lightning here ranks 6th in goals against at 101 and have allowed 1 goal in the last 2 out of 3 games.
Wow.
Blackhawks here, they have scored 4 goals in their last 4 games combined. That averages out to a 1. The under 4-0 in the last 4 after scoring 5 goals or more in the previous. I'm going to take the under in this one.
All right, Mindy's on the under with Tampa Bay and Chicago. I can definitely see what you're saying there in that one. Look at that price. I mean, it could go even higher. So, man, Tampa Bay, another hot team out east. Chicago, absolute garbage right now. Could it be my 4th puck line play? Yes, it is.
Could it?
I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the puck line. Who else? Look at this. We got
Tampa
Crush
Bay. Any
right
number you want.
there.
-2,
Yep, yep. 'Cause some of these Chicago games have really gotten ugly, and look at what Scott says here as far as that. We talk about it time and time again as I report the puck line numbers. It is pretty strong and consistent that the puck line dogs often over 500. Now, granted, often you got to lay some chalk, so you kind of weigh the chalk in with the record. But Chicago's a dismal 13-21 on the puck line as underdogs, and you see right there 12 in a row. Scott says so. I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road here on the puck line. Mindy's on the under.
Look at you go, Ramon.
I know what it seems crazy to lay all these puck line. I've never really.
No, you don't hardly ever play them.
Gotta stick with these. Gotta stick with my numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm obviously giving them out on the show. They're not premiums, but Scott says he might even go a little bit higher. How about the Kraken going in to take on the Oilers here? Oilers are up to $1.55, and the total 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. The only way I'd take the Kraken is maybe on a puck line, but sitting at $2, no chance here. I'm going to go with the over. It's 3-0-1. Kraken last 4 games. 4-1-1. The Oilers last 6 home games. Kraken might be able to, get a couple here, I think, today. So let's go ahead and take the over.
Okay, and you'll be on the over here with Kraken and Oilers. I mean, well, I don't know. Will it be the Oilers getting all the goals? Kraken, they actually came. I went against the Kraken the next, and then they came up with a.
Tell me about it.
A strong
versus
effort.
The Oilers, right?
And here comes Crush on the Oilers money line here. They're going crazy on that Lightning game.
Right.
Curtis is with you, Mindy, on this one. Says go over. Scott says go over. Orlando says Oilers money line. I'm with Crush and I'm with Orlando. I'm going Oilers money line. Mindy is on the over along with Curtis and Butterscotch. So I think we have
Hooray! That sounds like almost a full consensus.
Mad Bull is not going against.
Never mind.
Kraken for a while.
Oh, yeah, it was the Islanders. That's who it was, not the Oilers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that one game just scared me when they gave up those 6 goals early. So that kind of, I don't know. Just want to see if the crowd, Mad Bull does like the Oilers though here.
So. Just no play for him yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Laying a bit of a price here. All right, here are the Islanders. They're taking on the Canucks. The Islanders are $1.15 or so. I think in the discount books you'll find them probably closer to $1.10. Total 6 over 15.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the over as well in this one today. Canucks are finally, back at scoring a little bit. 4 goals over their last 5 here. The overs hit 4 of the last 4 games for the Islanders here as well. And 13-3 in the Canucks last 16 Tuesday games. Today, Tuesday? I think it is. All right. I'm going to go over.
Both meetings went over last year. I'm going over with you. Let's get our first total here on the premium consensus. Mindy, Vancouver, they are 21-15 to the over, including 12-9 to the over as a dog. Islanders 6-12 to the under as a favorite, but 11-9 to the over on the road. And I like the over with you here in this one. In fact, it's 4 straight meetings, although they did not meet in 2021 in that year. So let's go ahead and take the over in this one with these two teams. Last 2 meetings that featured 16 total goals. So those games were last year. And Crush is on the money line here. I don't know if those other comments were.
Yeah, they are like the over
Orlando and Butterscotch. Okay,
Yep.
good. Thank you. Let's flash it up there then, since they
over.
agree with us. Let's agree with us and get a real consensus going in this one. All right, we've got what, 4 plays here?
4.
Okay, good. One more game. Let's take a look. See if we can get a 5-pack out of this.
It's like my favorite game of the whole night, Ramon. I love it.
Okay, then let's hear it.
I mean, I just am excited for this game. I, have become a little bit more of a Stars fan this year because I got a little bit more offense. I like to watch them play, and then I root for the Kings, so they're your team here as well. Stars putting up 4 goals, like I said, in the last 4. Kings give up a bunch. They've given up 4 goals per game over the last 2 here. So taking the over, 6-1-1 in the Stars' last 8. Overs 4-0 in the Kings' last 4. I'm going to go ahead and take the over as well.
All right, Mindy, on the over here in this one with the Stars.
Root for goals.
I mean, look at the total there. I know Ottinger, but look, we'll see what happens in goal here in this one with the Kings. Most of the sites, all 3 of my sites that I prefer to are saying Copley. So that's not quick. Copley's looked okay, but we know that Oettinger's been pretty good. But Look, Curtis is on the over. Orlando's on the over. We know the Kings have played plenty of overs. And Dallas, you're right. I mean, Oettinger, some of the games have definitely been, low scoring where he stood on his head and played a great game. But to me, Kings are scoring goals. They're at home here. I'm going. We got a 5-pack. I'm on the over with you. My model really grades out. There's 7. My model has some 7s. Has enough 7s for me to think that we could easily see a 7th goal in this one. So let's go on the over as our 5th play. Kings 12-7-1 of the over as an underdog. Yeah, Dallas on the road, definitely an under team here, but I'm going to go over with you, Mindy, as our 5th play of the day.
Hooray!
So we got quite a nice card here of premium plays, and hey, we've been doing pretty hot, I'd say. Let's take a look. Head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com, as we wrap up the show here. Want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat. We definitely had a great turnout today. I don't know if we got to 60, but I know we
might see 60, but we are way 50 plus, that's for sure.
And Matt coming in with a comment says he might want the Kings in that game in a little bit of a parlay. Mad Bull says the Kings are frauds. I guess probably maybe, but the West isn't, like I said, the West. I don't know if there are any. I don't know. So, hey, how about Devontae Whitehead joining us?
Sounds like running a little behind, but congrats.
Or he's joining in live because he says so. Devontae, we covered the NBA at the top of the show. Well, after we talked about Hamlin, of course, and said our prayers for him and all that. But we did preview the NBA. But we're happy to have you here, Devontae. Pleasure to have you. I don't know if we've had the pleasure of meeting, so welcome, and hope you'll join us and be a part of Team Steam, where you can join us and give us your picks as well. So just cruise on back there. We got our pick up there. Actually, we gave you a side and a total in that game. So, all right, Mindy, over at Tony's Picks, where we talked about our picks as part of Team Steam and how we've been doing pretty well of late, I'd say. So what you do is click on the All Cappers tab. There you find all of our handicappers, including the top handicappers currently, including Pravi, Mindy, Collins, and myself, Sam, and Mindy. But you can click on the morning steam if you miss any of our shows. You could always subscribe to the picks. We really appreciate it. I know it does cost a little bit of money, but again, that supports Mindy and I. This is what we do here on Tony's Picks: is make a lot of free sports picks, right, Mindy? So
Right.
just take a look at how we've done NHL 11-8. Maybe we've given some back a little bit here, but definitely been pretty hot of late. 5-1 NHL our last 6 plays. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all of our premium pick package, including Mindy's packages and my packages as well. Check out our best bets and our premium picks right now. You see Mindy's loaded up at the top of the leaderboard with her
Yep,
three
I'm
best
ready to go. They're all in. No
NBA,
changing
college
today.
basketball. Her NBA play is her $15 play today. Looks like we're all loaded up with $15 plays, including Tony. Tony had a pretty strong day as well, and our multi-game packs are available on there as well. So we really look. You don't have to buy our premium picks. We're here giving out free sports picks daily, but one thing is you can, you know, at least go over to our website. You can see who's hot on our handicapper leaderboards. I think that's something that's kind of fun, right? I was 7-1 yesterday. Tony T 5-1 yesterday. Mindy and I are crushing it to the tune of just 3 dimes over the last 7 days, based on 100 to win $100 plays. So I think even if you don't track our picks. If you're fans of our show, we'd like you to go over to the website and just, see how we're doing. Just check us, say, hey, have Ramon and Mindy come through with a strong day, and, you see it right there. So thanks a lot, everybody. We'll be with you tomorrow. Thanks for all the great comments. Yeah, Dave, and hopefully you're with us at the top of the show where we talked about, I just watched a bunch of shows, a bunch of news shows where they had experts. Yeah, we tried to motivate you, Mad Bull. Thank you. Yeah, we just kind of, you know, I feel good, very good. I'm just a fan like you, but just having watched some of these doctors today, I mean, the best thing that can happen is to get that CPR. There's no doubt we all knew what happened. So to get that CPR quickly, to get that defibrillator on there, those are all very important things. And you know, usually in situations like this, usually a great outcome. And one other thing that they said, Mindy, about that type, if it is that type, I can't even pronounce it, but where the contact with a chest and at that split second where you just can't have it. God, you'd think that this would happen more. There's an average of 20 cases of this in the country per year.
Yeah.
So
right.
that is just a fluke. And yeah, I mean, it does. I think it does look positive. And again, all we need is, I think, just a little bit of positive news that the team can feel ready to go. Like I said, we could see the conclusion of this football game. Don't want to, nobody wants to talk about like that, but we said, Mindy and I, there's a championship season. The way to do it is to play every game. This game could be declared a draw. They would not give the Bengals a win or anything like that. The coaches were awesome. There was even reports about the two team owners meeting in the Bills locker room with players. So, maybe to kind of go with that contingency, if you will. So we could see a Thursday night game this week where we weren't expecting that, where we get to conclusion, and we could get a couple of Monday night games, even though it would, throw a little bit of a wrench into the playoffs. Buffalo and Cincinnati then could have their playoff games moved to Sunday to give them that. So it'd be like playing two of the again, because they really didn't play too much last night. So it's that 10-day rest, like it was a Thursday, and then playing on a short week where it would be like playing the Thursday night game after you played the Sunday game. So it really wouldn't be, it is taxing a little bit, but it wouldn't be out of the norm where teams, when they play that Sunday, Thursday, they only have the 3 days, and then they could get 6 more days before their playoff. That really, the reason why I think we've seen a little bit of speculation is because that is the one that makes the most sense. If they get the good news, we're not going to say anything's going to happen, but all you need is just a sliver of hope. And again, I think we're already getting that to a certain extent because of the fact that they did such an incredible job. So, okay,
All
just
right.
be positive today, everybody, and we'll all keep watching out on the news, and maybe we'll have something by the time we're on with Tony today. So, all right, for Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye bye.